You're training hard, eating clean, and still not seeing the muscle growth you want. You're not alone. Most people hit the gym and unknowingly make tiny mistakes that slow their progress. Today, we're breaking down 6 powerful science-backed tips to help you build muscle faster, naturally, and effectively. Stick with me until the end because tip number 6 is a total game changer. It's the one even experienced lifters often overlook. Building muscle isn't just about lifting heavy weights. It's a complete strategy involving training, nutrition, recovery, and mindset. Whether you're a beginner or have been lifting for years, these 6 tips will help you make measurable progress every week. Tip 1. Focus on progressive overload. If you lift the same weight for the same number of reps week after week, your muscles have absolutely no reason to grow. Your body is designed for efficiency. It adapts to stress so that next time, the same effort feels easier. That's great for survival, but terrible for building muscle. Progressive overload is the antidote. It's the art and science of gradually increasing the challenge you place on your muscles through more weight, more reps, improved form, slower tempo, or even shorter rest periods. It's how you signal your body, hey, we need to get stronger to handle this. Think of your muscles like students in a classroom. If the teacher gives the same homework every single day, the students stop learning. But if the assignments get a little harder each week, new vocabulary, tougher problems, they're forced to adapt and grow smarter. Your muscles work exactly the same way. Without new challenges, they coast. So here's your rule. Never repeat the same workout twice. Keep a simple training log. It can be an app or an old-school notebook. Write down every exercise, weight, set, and rep. When you walk into the gym next time, your mission is to beat the previous record, even if it's just by a tiny margin. Because those small improvements, like adding 2.5 pounds to your bench press or squeezing out just 1 extra rep, are what trigger change at the cellular level. Each time you do it, your body gets the message. We're under attack. We need to rebuild stronger. That's literally how muscle growth happens, through microscopic damage, followed by repair and adaptation. And if you're thinking, but I already train hard, here's the truth bomb most people don't want to hear. Training hard and training smart are not the same thing. Anyone can sweat, grunt, and push until failure. But smart training is about measured, repeatable progression. It's about balancing intensity with recovery, so your body doesn't just get tired, it gets better. Hard work builds effort. Smart work builds muscle. For example, instead of doing 4 sets of 10 every week with the same weight, try this. Week 1, 4 sets of 10 with 100 lbs. Week 2, 4 sets of 11 with 100 lbs. Week 3, 4 sets of 10 with 105 lbs. See that? You're constantly moving forward, even if it's just 1 rep or 5 pounds. That's progressive overload in action. And remember, progression isn't just about the numbers on the barbell. You can progress by improving your form, increasing your range of motion, or slowing down the eccentric phase, the lowering part of a lift, to increase time under tension. Every one of those tweaks adds new stimulus for your muscles to adapt. So before you chase fancy supplements or extreme routines, master this one principle. Track, improve, repeat. Because when you combine consistent overload with the right nutrition, which we'll cover next, that's when you unlock serious growth. If you've been training consistently but not fueling your body correctly, this next tip might be the missing piece in your muscle puzzle. Tip 2. Eat in a caloric surplus, but smartly. You can't build a house without bricks, and your body can't build muscle without fuel. If you're spending hours in the gym but not seeing progress, it's probably not your workouts, it's your nutrition. Here's the truth. To gain muscle, you must eat in a caloric surplus. That means consuming more calories than your body burns in a day. Those extra calories are what your body uses to repair muscle fibers, produce hormones, and add new tissue. But, and this is where most people get it wrong, a caloric surplus doesn't mean eat everything in sight. The goal isn't to bulk up fast and look puffy, it's to gain lean muscle, not fat. Think of it like building with premium materials versus cheap ones. You can build a house with cardboard, it's quick and easy, but it won't last. Building with strong bricks takes longer, but the result is solid. That's what clean eating does for your body. So, what does a smart surplus look like? You want to eat roughly 300 to 500 calories above maintenance level. Maintenance is the number of calories your body needs to stay the same weight. There are tons of calculators online, but a rough estimate, Multiply your body weight, in pounds, by 15 to find your maintenance. Then add 300-500 calories to that. For example, if you weigh 160 pounds, 160 x 15 honor $2,400 maintenance, $2,400 $2,300 on 2,700 calories per day for a lean bulk. Now where those calories come from is crucial. You want them to come from clean whole foods, not junk. Protein, chicken breast, eggs, Greek yogurt, salmon, tofu, your building blocks for new muscle. Carbs, oats, brown rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes, your energy source for intense workouts. Healthy fats, avocados, olive oil, nuts, seeds, support hormone production and joint health. A great rule of thumb is to aim for a macro ratio of roughly 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fats, but this can shift based on your goals. Now here's where most people fail. They don't track what they eat, they guess. And guessing is the enemy of progress. You can't improve what you don't measure, so start logging your meals using an app like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer. You'll quickly notice how easy it is to undereat or overeat without realizing it. And if you're worried about the scale going up, remember, a 1 to 2 pound gain per month is a healthy rate for lean muscle growth. If you're gaining faster than that, you're likely adding fat. If slower, you might be undereating. Now, let's talk about the quality of your food. You want meals that make you feel good, energized, not bloated. Avoid the temptation of the dirty bulk, pounding burgers, fries, and soda just to hit your calories. Sure, you'll gain weight fast, but most of it will be fat, and losing that later can erase months of hard work. Instead, eat 4 to 6 balanced meals throughout the day. Include a solid post-workout meal, like grilled chicken with rice and veggies, within 60 minutes after training. That's when your body is most ready to absorb nutrients and start muscle repair. Here's a quick story. A study from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that lifters who maintained a moderate 300-calorie surplus built twice as much lean muscle and half the body fat compared to those who ate in a 1,000-calorie surplus. In other words, more is not better, precision is power, and don't forget hydration. Muscles are about 75% water, and dehydration can directly limit strength and recovery. Aim for at least 3 liters per day. If you're eating in a surplus and still not growing, check your protein intake. That's often the bottleneck. Your body can't build muscle out of thin air. It needs amino acids. Fueling your body is half the battle. But if your protein intake isn't dialed in, you're leaving massive gains on the table. Let's fix that next. Tip 3. Prioritize protein intake. Let's get one thing straight. Muscle isn't built in the gym, it's built at the dinner table. You can train like a beast, but if your protein intake isn't dialed in, you're basically trying to build a house without bricks. Every time you lift weights, you create tiny micro-tears in your muscle fibers. Your body repairs those tears using amino acids, the building blocks of protein. That's how muscles grow. They break down and rebuild, stronger and thicker than before. But without enough protein, your body can't complete that repair process efficiently. Here's the science simplified. When you consume protein, your body breaks it down into amino acids. These amino acids then enter your bloodstream and trigger a process called muscle protein synthesis, MPS. Basically, your body's internal construction crew building new muscle tissue. But here's the catch. This process only happens if you consume enough high-quality protein regularly throughout the day. So how much is enough? The golden range backed by research is 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. Let's translate that. If you weigh 70 kilos, about 155 lbs, that's roughly 110 to 150 grams of protein daily. Now, that might sound like a lot, but it's totally manageable once you spread it out across your meals. For example, breakfast, 3 eggs, plus Greek yogurt, just 30 gram. Lunch, chicken breast, plus quinoa, just 40 grams. Snack, protein shake, plus 25 grams. Dinner, salmon plus veggies, plus 40 grams. Boom, you're already hitting your target. But here's where most people mess up. They cram all their protein into one meal. Your body can only use so much protein for muscle building at a time. The rest gets oxidized or used for energy. That's why spreading your protein intake evenly across 4 or 5 meals per day is key to maximizing muscle growth. And not all proteins are created equal. You want a mix of complete proteins, those that contain all 9 essential amino acids, and plant-based options for diversity and gut health. Great sources include lean meats like chicken, turkey, and beef fish, like salmon, or tuna eggs, and dairy whey, or plant-based protein powder, lentils, chickpeas, quinoa, tofu, and tempeh. If you're vegetarian or vegan, no problem, just make sure to combine plant sources. For instance, rice and beans together create a complete amino acid profile. Now, let's talk timing, another game changer most people ignore. Right after your workout, your muscles are in what's called an anabolic window, a short period, roughly 30-60 minutes, when they're primed to absorb nutrients. Consuming 25-30 grams of protein during this window can significantly enhance muscle recovery and growth. A fast-digesting protein like whey isolate is perfect here because it quickly floods your bloodstream with amino acids. Add a small carb source, like a banana or oats, to boost insulin and drive those nutrients straight into your muscles. And here's something fascinating. A 2023 meta-analysis published in Frontiers in Sports and Active Living found that people who hit at least 1.6 Gs of protein per kilogram per day saw double the muscle growth of those who didn't, even when training volume was the same. That means protein isn't just helpful, it's non-negotiable. Now let's destroy a myth real quick. Eating too much protein does not damage your kidneys if you're healthy. That myth comes from outdated studies on people with kidney disease. For healthy lifters, high-protein diets are completely safe and often lead to better body composition and appetite control. Speaking of appetite, here's another bonus. Protein keeps you full longer and stabilizes your blood sugar levels. So while you're in a caloric surplus for muscle growth, protein helps prevent fat gain by curbing overeating. Still struggling to hit your daily target? Here are a few easy hacks. Add a scoop of protein powder to your morning oats or smoothie. Keep Greek yogurt or cottage cheese as your go-to snack. Meal prep protein-rich foods ahead of time so you never run out. Sprinkle chia or hemp seeds on your meals for an extra boost. And if you're ever wondering whether protein truly makes a difference, remember this. Your muscles don't grow because of what you lift, they grow because of what you feed them afterward. So before you spend another dollar on supplements, take control of your nutrition first. Make protein your priority. You've now got your training and your nutrition working together. But if your training intensity doesn't match your effort in the kitchen, your progress will stall. Let's fix that next. Tip 4. Train with intensity, not just volume. Here's a harsh truth. Doing more sets doesn't always mean more growth. You can spend 2 hours in the gym, piling on exercise after exercise, but if you're not training with true intensity, you're just going through the motions. Let's clear something up. Volume is the total amount of work you do, but intensity is how close you get to your maximum effort. And when it comes to building muscle, intensity is the real driver of change. Think of your workout like a car engine. Volume is the size of the engine. Intensity is how hard you press the gas pedal. You can have a massive engine, but if you barely touch the pedal, you're not going anywhere fast. When you train with real intensity, you push your muscles close to failure, that point where you can't do another rep with good form. That's the sweet spot where your muscle fibers experience the kind of stress that forces adaptation. Studies show that training within 1 to 3 reps of failure leads to significantly higher muscle activation compared to stopping earlier. In other words, the final reps, the ones that hurt, the ones that make you question your sanity, are the ones that count the most. So if your set feels easy, it's not building new muscle. Now, this doesn't mean lifting until your form collapses or you injure yourself. It means pushing with controlled intensity, staying disciplined even as your body screams for rest. Here's a practical way to measure it. Use the RPE scale, rate of perceived exertion. RPE 10, absolute failure, can't do another rep. RPE 9, hard, could maybe squeeze one more. RPE 8, 2 reps left in the tank. Most of your working sets should land between RPE 8 and 9. That's where real growth happens. Now, let's add some spice to your workouts with intensity techniques that break plateaus and shock your muscles into growth. Drop sets. After reaching failure, immediately reduce the weight by 20-30% and keep going. This extends time under tension and forces your body to recruit more muscle fibers. Supersets. Combine 2 exercises back-to-back with no rest, like bench press followed by push-ups. You'll hit the muscle from multiple angles and double the burn. Slow eccentrics. The lowering phase of a movement is where most muscle damage and growth happens. Try lowering the weight slowly, 3 to 4 seconds per rep, and feel your muscles stretch and contract fully. Rest-pause training. Perform a set to failure, rest for 15 seconds, then do a few more reps. This sneaky technique allows you to push past your normal limits. Now here's something few people realize. Your mindset during training plays a massive role in intensity. If your mind is elsewhere, on your phone, your playlist, your notifications, you're not training with purpose. The best lifters in the world treat every rep like it matters. They visualize the muscle contracting, feel the stretch, and stay present. That's called mindful training, and it transforms your workouts from average to elite. Arnold Schwarzenegger once said, "The last 3 or 4 reps is what makes the muscle grow." This area of pain divides a champion from someone who is not a champion. Those reps you want to quit on, those are your growth reps. Another key aspect of intensity is load management. You need to lift heavy enough to challenge your muscles, but not so heavy that your form breaks down. A general rule: choose a weight where you can perform 6 to 12 reps per set with near-perfect form, failing on the last 1 or 2 reps. But intensity doesn't always mean heavier weight. Sometimes, intensity means better focus. Ask yourself, did you actually own every rep? Did you control the negative, squeeze the contraction, and move with intent? If not, you're just lifting, not training. Here's a mental cue to live by. If you still have energy to scroll your phone between sets, you're not training hard enough. You'll know you're hitting the right intensity when you walk out of the gym feeling accomplished, not drained. Your muscles feel tight and pumped, not destroyed. You need a moment to breathe after your last rep because you gave it everything. When you combine proper intensity with progressive overload and smart nutrition, your results skyrocket. You'll see visible changes in weeks, not months. But remember, there's a fine line between training hard and overtraining. If you push to the edge every single day, your body won't have time to recover. And that's when progress stalls. Which brings us to the next point. Because what you do outside the gym is just as important as what you do inside. Let's talk about the secret ingredient that most people underestimate: recovery. Tip 5. Prioritize recovery and sleep. Here's a truth that almost no one in the gym wants to hear. Muscles don't grow while you train. They grow while you rest. Every rep, every set, every workout is just the stimulus. The growth happens afterward, when your body repairs the micro-tears caused by training. If you never allow that recovery, you're simply breaking yourself down, over and over again. Think of your body like a smartphone. You can have the best apps, the strongest processor, and the brightest screen. But if you never charge it, it dies. Sleep and recovery are your charger. Without them, your performance and muscle gains flatline. Now let's get scientific for a moment. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, GH, the single most powerful muscle-building hormone you produce naturally. GH triggers protein synthesis, tissue repair, and fat metabolism. Miss out on sleep, and you cut GH production dramatically. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that even one night of poor sleep can reduce growth hormone levels by up to 70% the next day. Another study found that subjects sleeping only 5 hours per night for a week lost 60% more muscle and gained 55% more fat compared to those sleeping 8 hours, even on the same diet and workout plan. That's not overtraining, that's under-recovery. So how much sleep do you really need? Aim for 7 to 9 hours every single night, but quality matters just as much as quantity. You can't stay up until 2 a.m., scrolling TikTok, sleep until 10, and call it recovery. You want deep restorative sleep, not fragmented rest. Here's how to optimize it. 1. Set a consistent schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time, even on weekends. Your body runs on a circadian rhythm, and consistency teaches it when to release sleep hormones naturally. 2. Create a sleep sanctuary. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. A temperature around 65 degrees, 18 degrees, promotes deeper sleep. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask, and ditch electronics 30 to 60 minutes before bed. 3. Avoid stimulants and blue light. Caffeine can linger in your system for up to 8 hours. If you train late in the day, switch to decaf or cut it off after lunch. Also, the blue light from phones and laptops suppresses melatonin, your sleep hormone. Try using a blue light filter or, better yet, read a book instead. 4. Nighttime nutrition matters. A small balanced snack of protein and healthy fats before bed, like Greek yogurt with nuts, can support overnight muscle repair. Avoid sugary snacks that spike insulin and disrupt sleep cycles. 5. Active recovery days. Recovery doesn't always mean doing nothing. Gentle activities like walking, yoga, or stretching boost blood flow, clear lactic acid, and keep you mobile. These active rest sessions accelerate recovery and prevent stiffness. Here's something most people overlook. Your nervous system also needs recovery. Training hard triggers your sympathetic fight or flight mode. To recover, you need to activate the parasympathetic system, your rest and digest state. Simple breathing exercises before bed, like inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 6, can shift your body into recovery mode almost instantly. Combine that with the light stretching and you'll fall asleep faster and wake up refreshed. And don't underestimate the role of stress management. When cortisol, your stress hormone, stays elevated, it suppresses testosterone and blunts muscle growth. Sleep naturally lowers cortisol, making it one of the most anabolic things you can do. Here's a quick recovery checklist to follow weekly. Get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Take 1-2 full rest days per week. Stay hydrated. Muscles are 75% water. Stretch or foam roll after tough sessions. Eat enough calories and protein for repair. Manage stress through breathing or meditation. When you treat recovery as seriously as your workouts, everything changes. You'll notice your strength increasing faster, soreness fading quicker, and your mood, focus, and motivation skyrocketing. Because recovery isn't a sign of weakness. It's the foundation of strength. Remember this. The best athletes in the world don't just train harder, they recover smarter. And if you think sleep is just a luxury, think again. It's your body's most powerful supplement, and it's completely free. So now you're training smart, eating right, and recovering deeply. But there's one element that can multiply your results even more, something invisible but incredibly powerful, your mind-muscle connection. Tip 6, mind-muscle connection. Most people walk into the gym, lift weights, count reps, and leave. But here's the truth, their mind isn't in the muscle. They go through the motions without truly connecting to the movement, and that's why they stay stuck. If you've ever wondered why some people can grow twice as fast with the same workout plan, it's not always genetics, it's the mind-muscle connection. This isn't some mystical idea, it's pure neuroscience and physiology. Your brain controls every contraction in your body through neural pathways. The stronger the signal from your brain to your muscle, the more fibers you recruit, and the greater your potential for growth. Here's what the science says. A study published in the European Journal of Sports Science found that lifters who consciously focused on the muscle they were training experienced up to 30% more muscle activation compared to those who didn't. That means when you think about your biceps contracting during curls or your glutes firing during squats, your brain literally sends a stronger signal to that muscle. Think of your muscle like a light bulb. When your focus is scattered, thinking about work, music, or your phone, the light flickers dimly, but when your attention locks in on that one muscle, the light shines brighter, stronger, and more powerful. That's when growth happens. So how do you build that connection? Let's break it down. Step 1. Slow down your reps. Fast reps look flashy but do little for connection. Slow the movement down, especially the eccentric, lowering phase. When you lower the weight under control, you give your brain time to feel every inch of the motion. Try counting 1, 2, 3 on the way down. Feel the muscle lengthen, then contract deliberately on the way up. For example, during a bicep curl, don't just swing the dumbbell. Squeeze your biceps at the top. Pause for 1 second, then lower slowly. Feel the tension the entire way. That's how you teach your brain which muscle is working. Step 2. Warm up with activation, not just movement. Before you lift heavy, wake up the muscle you're about to train. For glutes, do bodyweight hip thrusts or banded kickbacks. For chest, perform slow push-ups or cable crossovers with light resistance. This primes your nervous system, increases blood flow, and reinforces the neural connection so that when you move to heavy lifts, the right muscle fires first. Step 3. Visualize every contraction. Close your eyes for a moment before a set. Visualize your target muscle working. Imagine it expanding, contracting, and getting stronger, with each rep. Olympic athletes and bodybuilders like Arnold and Ronnie Coleman used visualization long before each set. Why? Because when your mind rehearses the movement, your body performs it better. Arnold once said, "The mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision the fact that you can do something, you can do it, as long as you really believe 100%. That belief, combined with awareness, turns a basic lift into an art form. Step 4. Control your environment. You can't connect to your muscles if you're constantly distracted. Put your phone away, stop checking notifications between sets, choose music that motivates you, but doesn't steal your focus. Your workout time is sacred. It's your mind-body training zone. When you enter the gym, make a mental switch. I'm here to connect. Even just repeating that to yourself creates intention, and intention transforms repetition into transformation. Step 5. Train light. Occasionally. Here's a surprising tip. One of the best ways to build mind-muscle awareness is to occasionally train with lighter weight. Drop the load by 20–30% and focus purely on control and contraction. Feel every muscle fiber working. This builds the neural connection that later allows you to lift heavier, with purpose. In fact, a study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research showed that subjects lifting at 60% of their 1-rep max, with focus on muscle tension, achieved similar hypertrophy as those lifting at 80% intensity without focus. Translation: the brain can amplify the effect of your effort if you use it. When you master the mind-muscle connection, your workouts become something entirely different. You stop chasing numbers and start chasing quality. You'll feel muscles engage you never even knew existed. Your form improves, your risk of injury drops, and your growth? It skyrockets. Here's something to think about during your next workout. Each rep is a conversation between your brain and your body. If your mind is loud and clear, your body listens. If it's distracted, your muscles don't get the message. The next time you train, pick one muscle group. Say your chest. During every rep of your bench press, feel your chest stretching at the bottom and squeezing hard at the top. Don't just move the bar. Own the rep. Because when you train with that level of focus, you transform from just a gym goer to a true sculptor, crafting your body with intention. So to recap, progressive overload challenges your limits, a smart caloric surplus fuels your progress, protein repairs and rebuilds your strength, intensity transforms effort into growth, recovery restores your body and mind, mind-muscle connection sharpens your control. These 6 principles are your blueprint for building a stronger, leaner, more confident body, and a more disciplined mindset to go with it. But if you want to take it even further, watch my next video. 9 things that make you muscular, backed by science. In that video, we'll dive deep into the hidden biological and lifestyle factors that accelerate muscle growth, things most lifters completely overlook. Trust me, if you've ever wondered why some people grow faster even when training less, that video will open your eyes. Because building muscle isn't just about effort, it's about understanding the science behind your strength. So keep training smart, stay consistent, and take care of your recovery, because your next level starts now. Don't forget to subscribe to the Wonder Drop for more science-backed fitness, nutrition, and mindset videos that help you unlock your potential, one rep at a time.